Faceless Void.
Pick. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Tide Hunter.
Dire team pick.
Lion.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Nanyang Championship Season 2. We're here. It's CDEC.Y facing off against Digital Chaos, the first match of the day, a best of 3 on Lyrical Dota, joined today as well by Ryu. Sir, how are you doing? You excited about these two teams facing off here?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Ame.
10 seconds remaining.
No, definitely. I've been following, the Chinese scene a lot. We were doing the international qualifiers. This was actually a team that I placed. I'm probably going to lose all credibility through saying this, but I had them placed 4th. I really thought that they were going to do well and be able to make it through the qualifiers. They've been performing pretty well in a lot of, you think about H Cup, you think about DPL, all of those Chinese sort of semi-in-house leagues, but they're still official matches, but it's very fluctuating, the results that they've been getting. And you're talking about it, In Flame, this is a guy who's sort of run the gauntlet of those Chinese teams and has been putting on pretty good performances. The biggest thing for them, I think, is that they've been together since March, and they've really been growing together as a squad, whereas Digital Chaos, granted, they do have the team house. They've got a lot of synergy. I'm sure they've been building through that, but this is a team in CDEC.Youth that's been around for a while, so if they can sort of stick together and harness that teamwork, maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to pull an upset out here.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, that's something that I'm kind of curious about as well. I'm sure that they're going to be bringing out a couple of their stops here. I don't imagine that DC are too worried about this matchup. And you start looking ahead at some of the other teams that are in this tournament, as we have the Winter Wyvern getting taken now. You might try to think about saving and holding back a couple of those strategies. But the response comes out with the ET. This is a hero that's been going all over the place. And in a lot of cases, depending upon the team you're playing against, it's a first-round ban material. What is it about him that's just sort of brought him back into prominence? Is it just the way that the meta's evolved, or what's your thoughts?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
It's interesting. So in-game, it is for in-game audio. It is team, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Not party
Because
one.
I've done party a lot of times, and that's
The reborn changes through Dota 2, always creating some fun and interesting dynamics. Oh my goodness. And they're gonna go for a fourth pick, Doom now. So just gonna run it right on in there and
Doom. Interesting.
yeah. And then a Morphling too? This does not surprise me too much. We've been seeing a good chunk of Morphling out of China depending upon the lineups that you're running it. And I like the hero as a whole. What do you think about picking it into the Doom? Is that a pretty big concern? Like, is that something you got to be worried about here?
I think Morphling counters Doom.
You think so?
Yeah, unless you go Shadow Blade Doom, and you can get the Infernal Blade off at the same time as you're casting the Doom. Else Morphling is going to be able to farm a fast Lincolns, and he will have a very hard time of getting doomed because Doom has a huge cast animation, and most of the time Morphling can either waveform or replicate away. So it's the same thing as an Ember Spirit. Like they could have picked Ember here or Morphling. Morphling allows you to play more split push, and it's a very tanky hero. And then if you can even bait dooms, right? Like you can get your morph off while getting doomed, and then all of a sudden they're focusing too much on the Morphling. Then you have this Faces Void who can just go ham in team fights, and then what looks like next hero could be mid. They could bring back mid Morphling in the Chinese scene. I wouldn't be surprised, but mid hero here, Lyrical, I'll give you the nod. What are they going to pick?
I wouldn't mind a Juggernaut. I'm not going to lie.
Mid-jug?
Yeah, something to sort of, break up the space a little bit. They do have this Doom that's going to roam in, I would imagine. Probably playing... Do you think that this is going to be the position, like, for Doom that just runs around the mid lane and acts like a dummy? That's sort of the way to play it?
Yeah, I think it's Mirana mid, Wyvern support, Doom roaming, tied off. They'll pick a carry. Dragonite is something the Chinese scene loves as well. A lot of tanky heroes. As long as you get the ulti off before Doom, you'll do a lot of DPS. You'll be able to tank up with the Elder Dragon form. So all things considered, CDEC.Youth lineup is very strong going into this late game, but lifesteal last pick. I don't know if I've ever seen that in my pubs. I mean, that's normally first pick, first ban, But hey, this is a good combo. I guess I can do for the Mirana bombs. Like you can go inside the Mirana, pot a multi, go around, tied ulti, or just going inside the lifestealer. Like I talked about Doom, this is a very good Shadow Blade game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go for it, just because of the things I talked about the Morphling earlier. So it's interesting both teams have the ways around this. Who do you favor, actually, Lyrical?
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the idea of CDEC.Youth going into the late game here. I mean, you've got a lot of ways to protect high ground and try and build an advantage, I feel like, on the DC roster. But as I'm thinking about their ability to take high ground and their ability to actually, break through a late game, more cause so many issues. So we get the little start pause, which is always lovely to have happen when we end up casting some of these games. And I'm going to tentatively say that I think the draft favors CDEC.Youth. What are your thoughts?
I actually do think it favors CDEC.Youth going into the later stages of the game too. But it's going to be predicated on how well DC roam around the map, put pressure on, because Morphling is a pretty useless hero until he gets his first, second item. Like even when he gets Lincolns, he still needs to farm to his second item. But if they can pressure around the map, get a lot of kills from DC, and try to close this game out, I think he can do really well.
Okay. Well, a couple little quick jumps forward, trading hits with Misery. Demon being a bit of a butt. And it looks like I'm gonna try and do a quick reconnect just for a second to see if
I'm fine.
Buddy.
I'll stream, guys. I'll be cameraman. It's fine. You just missed first blood. I can't believe Morphling did that. That's kind of silly. Like he waveformed in 5 heroes. What? You think I'm lying, and then you rejoin the game, and then there's 1 kill.
The battle begins.
The prize is mine.
Well, there's a ward from the Dire side. They invaded Block Tide's camp, and it looks like Moo has to contest the lane now. They've also blocked the ward pool as well with the sentry in the offlane. So Moo, if he has a really good block here, could be a really good time for him. But I don't know. With ET starting top lane, it's going to be really hard for this offlane Tide to get much.
Wonderful. Dota 2 is being played, everybody. I promised you would get back into it. It does look like it's maybe helped at least a little bit. As of course, it's not always the greatest thing in the world when you have to reconnect, but I want to try and create the greatest possibility possible. So we have this mid lane matchup here of Mirana versus the Dragon Knight. How do you feel like this ends up working? It feels to me that there's not really going to be a great possibility for Weehaw to really kill and flame at all. Is there any potential for it?
Nah, I think this is going to be a whitewash lane. Nothing's going to really come of it. Just trick CS. And he has a Quelling Blade too from DK, so it's a lot easier for him to last hit. And it's against the bottom too, so talk about one of the lowest base damage heroes.
Resolution trading hits with demons down in the bottom lane, but they're not going to be able to find anything. Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest battle in the world. As far as like sort of early rotations and stuff, it doesn't feel like we have any of those heroes that's particularly great at making kills happen. Given that that's the case, do we end up trying to see maybe like Misery head off and stack up camps, or what's your thought there?
Yeah, stacking camps, trying to get Tide his levels, stack this Ancients. They've already done it once. It's a really good job. So as long as Tide has this comeback mechanic and they can farm a fast mech, they'll be superior in team fights for quite a while, and as long as they have the Ravage.
Oh, XZ walks into the mid lane here. He does have an Invis Rune and Earth Spike available, but not a ton of damage outside of it. They're going to need Weehaw to step a little bit too far forward if they're actually going to be able to find that kill. So a little bit unfortunate that they weren't able to make anything more of this as of yet. I guess that he doesn't have leap skills, so there's potential.
Yeah, honestly, if he had leap, I think he would have gotten the courier. That would have... You know, it's one of those questions that I always ask myself. Is it worth giving first blood for courier if you're the mid laner? And I honestly think it is. If I have a chance to just go for the courier, I think I would take it, because that's giving 200 gold to everyone on your team.
Oh my goodness, this is a little bit of a problem, everybody.
Chop City.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on going through it though. They are gonna be able to get a couple of right clicks. Moo almost going down, has to pop the Fairy Fire. XC was almost able to find the kill, but no luck that time around. And it looks like, at least for now, they're still gonna continue sitting pretty here in the mid lane. Weehaw using that arrow for farming his last hits, making sure that he's able to get those range creeps, and then heading off on his merry little way. So for you at least, what's the point where you're going to end up seeing rotations or any type of real movement for kills? Is it just all predicated upon like
top lane
trying to make stuff happen?
Got Saksa first blood.
Boom. Look at you. You're on top of it. You know what's up.
I was going to say that's where I was watching. I got your camera work, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Like, no, but he was overstating his welcome a little bit. Like, he tried to pull, but he didn't have... They cut him off really well, and then ET, he did his perfect split of where it's like he's in the middle with his Astral and himself, and it's like, oh crap, Doom couldn't go anywhere. So it was really well played from ET.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look now and figure out exactly, as they have been roaming around a lot with these heroes, like you're going to bring XC down towards this bottom lane, they might be able to find something, a little bit of a follow-up. That is going to be resolution in the area, and if they can get the Hex off, that is going to at least be a moment of disable, a couple more right clicks, but Rezo walks away, and they're not... Okay, apparently they did find the kill. Goodness gracious. You know, I think tonight is just going to be an entertaining madness stream. How are you feeling about that, Ryu?
I'm good. I'm good with that. This is NA Dota. We're allowed that. In half NA Dota, I guess.
Oh, waveform forward up in the top lane. Moo getting a couple of right clicks, but not going to be able to find that kill. And it does look like CDEC.Youth off to a hot start.
Yeah,
Do you
they're
feel
doing
like they're
really
comfortable?
I think they're doing really well for themselves. They should feel good about this situation. They've been able to put a lot of pressure. Tide hasn't been able to get levels. They've gotten a kill because of a double damage Rune Lion, and so far they've made the perfect rotations from CDC.
XZ for the moment, just sitting comfortably as he keeps on roaming around and hasn't really missed out all that much. Like, you take a look at some of these levels, they're certainly the lowest, but it's not terrible. Weehaw stunned for the moment. They've also got the Hex down and can't throw out an Earth Spike, but he is going to be able to leap out of there. The turnaround Echo Stomp was not going to be enough. And
unfortunate. Do they have bottle up on Inflame? I don't think so. So there was no way for the Lion to get mana in that situation, and then they just jumped the gun where it's just like, well, I have to stun, and they didn't have the ET right then and there, so they couldn't combo everything perfectly.
Well, let's take a look at some of these items. I mean, you look at the last hits already, and it's pretty heavily into the favor of CDEC.Youth. I mean, Moo is going to be Iron Talon jungling pretty much as he can, but this is really starting to turn into a difficult game for them, for the lineup that also kind of has the weaker late game, I'd say. Inflame taking a little bit of damage, Soxka chasing him down as well, but he is going to be able to pop that Invis Rune and just walk away. They drop the Sentry Ward and going to trade a couple more hits on the Inflame, doing a bit more damage. He's down so low, but is just going to be able to walk away for the moment. Tosses the arrow the other direction, but it isn't going to be able to find him. Oh my goodness, that was really scary.
That arrow, if that had hit, that would have made Reddit front page instantly. I would have upvoted it in a heartbeat. That was really well played from both players. Top lane though.
Yeah, a couple of possibilities for a jump on to move. That was so much damage with the waveform and the Earth Split, and that is going to end up being a kill. So well played again. Morphling finding it. You can't sleep on CDEC.Youth. This is a team that they've been trading well with a lot of the other top tier teams in China, and for a team not really having the complete, experience playing against them, can definitely catch you off guard.
Yeah, we should look at the net worth too, because they're giving over these kills. That's 2 to Morphling. He's sitting at 1K more net worth right now than the Lifestealer. So this is a good situation for any mid lane though.
Yeah, this is looking for a jump, and not going to be able to hit an arrow there. Inflame follow-up stun onto Misery. A couple right clicks coming in from Victoria, but not going to be able to finish that one off.
Action everywhere now.
It's all over the place. Chinese Dota is not the snore fest that everybody likes to say it is. It's a pretty action-packed if you want to start moving around the map and finding kills.
Yeah, and right now, contesting even the rune, not gonna get that though.
Oh my goodness, we got the packet loss. It's a struggle right now, but we're gonna work through it. Everybody out there, wherever you are, all over the wide, wonderful world, we're gonna bring you entertainment, even in the most difficult of times.
It's fine. I have no lag, and I'm happy because I'm on East Coast, so I'm just like. I'm like, you're West Coast and you have problems? I mean, are you even a caster, bro? Like, seriously, I'm on the opposite side of the world right now, and you're having ping problems and not me. Oh, how to tilt casters 101. That's my job, guys. It's my job.
Well, we do see Misery head on over to the mid lane now. Good fill of Weehaw. This is going to be another little pressure. Trying to get the first set of fight. It's a bit of a rough time already. Smoking rotation is going to be by Tor. Flame has to react. Still has 5 launches to use. It gets done for the but the full sleep and what is going to do? It's such good at that point. Activate with the right through. Get for Misery. They find a kill. Right in the full mirror. Suddenly mid. CDEC.Youth. And you see 6-star. Not they went plan to begin.
Yeah, you do not respect Elder Titan, and then you just go in like, I don't know, you're just going into a massive stomp to the face, and then all of a sudden you just get cleaned up because Demons has his levels from the offlane. He did really well for himself, and he just TPs in. They have no burst damage for this Dragon Knight when he has raindrops on. Like, all of it's magic damage. Even top lane, Tidehunter's dying. They're owning 0-7 at 10 minutes in the game. This is just incredible right now for the CDEC. And like we talked about, we both agreed during the draft, they have a better late game. So when they're scaling this well early on, I'm super scared for DC.
Yeah, this is certainly going to feel like a pretty exciting. Yeah, going to be here. He's kind of in room for instance, Starstorm. They really get should be a fun fight. Oh, but he's still trying to kill. Morona takes him out. They're able to finish that one on high priority too.
Yeah, I think Morphling might have been looking around the map or something, or buying an item or whatnot, because he was definitely not ready for that one. He could have instantly like waveformed away to dodge the second wave or Starstorm, and that would have been enough. Even strength morphing a little bit. So just a little misplay here. Getting DC on the board. At least are they back yet? Are we Brazil?
Oh, look. Yeah, never forget that. Oh my, you're just a mirror, I swear.
Dude, that's the one thing I forgot. Remember when we were at the hub and they were asking us numbers, right? When we were sitting on the couch. We forgot the Brazil one, 7-1, 1-7.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
It was with Conrad. Okay, maybe you weren't there. Conrad was asking us what are all the famous numbers in Dota too, like 322 and everything. So, and we just couldn't find any more after like that, and 3154 and all these other numbers, etc., etc. But bottom lane,
Victoria Tickens is gonna try to keep it. I'm assuming not going to kill back towards the mid lane. Sweet. You're trying to keep that dragon. It's worth noting that they've been able to take one tower so far, and this I feel like is an sort of skewed towards being aggressive early at it. Of their own, they haven't really been able to secure almost any objectives. Got the armor up and all that.
It doesn't change if he's dead though.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Chronos first finger death, everything. He'll try to turn this back down. See, already down about 30. He's gonna boomed. I think this is going to
triple
for exchange. So nice there. Triple for Weha, 2,000 gold in the bank.
That was that was a really good setup from CDEC.Youth. Arrow to inflame. Ooh, that could have been super bad.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's trying to chase your Cena can kill to this dude. Dragon has 1 second. And this probably be a kill. He hit down at the end. Just a breath. That dude. So still find the moment.
Yeah, they're doing good rotations, both teams, because that could have been a disaster if Lifestealer just dies there and they don't get anything. And then now Lifestealer can go back to the bottom lane and he can pressure this tier 1 tower. And he's not going to feel too afraid, because the only thing that really killed them was the Chrono plus the Finger. So they have these 2 huge ultimates now on CD. So this is when DC should start pressuring, because sure, Doom is down, but Doom is more than just, you know, a Doom hero for his ulti. He has Scorched Earth and he has Infernal Blade to run at people. So they need to make something happen now for DC.
We'll see. It does feel, at least for the moment, try to push their breath a little bit. I can imagine this on land. They're in a different country. You know, talking a little bit about how they've been feeling like better than this team. Don't really know that much about it coming in. It's got to be at least a little shocking. Catching now, heroes mid, they're gonna secure, I assume, as there isn't really a way to stop them at the moment. Although Titan is at least gonna try. Tosses out his spirit, heads back from a little way, and I think CDEC.Youth are just gonna be attacking up their items.
Yeah, and they should try, and yeah, this is they either needed to go bottom lane or they needed to keep up the pressure here. Like, it's either or. And so this is a good decision. Try to catch people when they're trying to farm mid. Unfortunately, they're not going to find anyone. Dragon Knight has Invis. He's going to go scout out. So do they... Let's see if hypotheticals are... If they did find him, they would have no detection for this Dragon Knight at all.
My they have a use it and Miz are gonna try turn around actually use the winners so that keeps going back and that at least that could have just both rats just going to head the one for obedience.
Yep. They already know that DC are committing heavily for this top tower. Oh, stop!
Alright, on there are a couple of to pick down that. Yeah, got these for one. Now it looks like the youth are going to head bottom.
Yep. They can't really take the tower though, because Dragon Knight ulti is down. They are going to another stack for. Curious to see how CDEC approach doing these ancients, because you have to have Dragon Knight ulti if you want to have some AoE, because they don't really have a Battle Fury hero. Morphling's not the best, and they don't have much sustain like a Shadow Priest and grouping up. So I want to see how they do it. But this is really bad if CDEC get caught out here.
Yeah, they're at the moment. I can there's can replicate if he needs to, and he is get that guy out. Right. So DC don't end up being able to find a mechanism online that you're on this time turn. Time to keep these towers. Take two. This is a good outside play. These behind early. They're starting to take the back.
Yep, and question now is whether they keep going or not. They still haven't used Ravage once this game. They have the mech online, but it can be very scary fighting into the CDC lineup. We saw how they got punished earlier with the ET stomp into what was a chrono, huge chrono, and then the splinter blast on top of it. So that's always a scary play to have, and there's not much they can really do for DC to stop it. Like, they have to get the jump onto the void, but in this game, how do you really jump the void? Like, you don't have a blink on Doom, or talked about in the draft. He needs a Shadow Blade to potentially catch him out. Blink Dagger's not available for Tide, so they would need a lucky arrow to hit the void if they really want to initiate on him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty hard thing. Saw that void didn't go back for this club now into the staff as well. It's gonna be for that saber. Yeah,
should have it finished here.
What do you thought about it? On demons, this face void. Not something that was in, but the 10th for at least 2 chances.
Yeah, it's kind of a good alternative to like Aquila on Faces Void, because normally you want to have like some mana regen, some kind of item for that, and this kind of helps with that. As to the double hits, yeah, that always helps when you're in the Chronosphere. Helping attack slow anybody like Lifestealer when he's outside of Rage helps, but other than that, this is actually a good Vlad's game for them. Like, they have BK and Morphling. I mean, just buffing up their armor as much as possible in these team fights is still good. So I kind of want to see him go Blink and then back for Vlad's just because of that.
The other thing I kind of looking so that 5-second cooldown, you only get one profit per, but it kind of transitions into being able to take types of fight as well, as we see off XZ and now you know, go for a with the time walk and potentially 2 shots in a so you can be more dynamic just in Chronosphere.
His thought process this game is more so about, hey, this game is going to go late. I want to scale better in the late game situation. I'm going to be that second or third carry that we're going to need. So I'll probably go for that Manta, probably go for that Diffusal Blade. And then, like we talked about, like if Void is like a carry in the later game stages with the Dragon Knight and the Morphling, like this game is almost but sealed unless DC have like these miraculous, you know, initiations with their Dooms and Ravages and everything.
I would feel like the lineups have to rely upon like a in the game. That's Like you
That's why Magnus has kind of fallen off and kind of Enigma. It's like, yeah, that one big ultimate, if you don't hit it at times, then you just lose the game.
right. 5-minute smoke is going to be in out side CDC. Random move. Wait. What's the video finger? He good down. He's only taking him atomic. But see, it looks like he's from forward. Unless you're dropping by another reckless to be in this one zone out by and I think we're gonna be able to put him up. And the since 2 down. Deep. See, 8 down. And that's here once more. Hey.
I'm worried if they're not going to get more. They might even get Roche here. This is a pretty big deal, honestly. It's like DC are on this timing window where they should be taking Roche, they should be taking tier 2 towers, and all of a sudden CDEC is doing it. So I think, yeah, CDEC are definitely in the driver's seat now. They can't really contest this at all either. Pretty well played so far.
I was saying this, like, teams put good results to win the against Newbie. Chinese Dota, not saying you see some of these the pocket is not not prepared for that. Really, so certain out in the right. The I mean, think about the way to been stronger than
it's kind of hard to go Shadow Blade when you don't have cane boots, and in this game, because he didn't get any kills early on and his rotations weren't effective at all, he's gone back for this Midas and saying, okay, I need to get levels, I need to get farm, because he knows he's not going to find farm at all around the map besides using Midas and Devour.
Being how they've got up. They're trying to go on. That's the back at the this to play with. Now things come flame 50, but okay, they still.
He's like, these pubs don't ward right there. Come on, please. Little did they know they did ward there.
Link on good way. He's gonna get it out of this, but I don't really much of it.
No, they could just go. Yeah, exactly. They could just. Oh, they got misery. Literally only Lion needs to be smoked up for that. That's funny.
I mean, go. But we has been able to push the out. Like try to race a little bit too more to stop getting out of the way. Well, the big man.
He's looking. He's hunting. Is he gonna find some fish?
Kill.
I don't know. I don't think he can kill him without a waveform. Now he can kill him.
Oh god, Hunter ends up being like nothing. This is like so enough.
Oh yeah, it's there's definitely not a good way to really initiate, as we talked about on the Void, let alone the Morphling. And when you can't catch out these, like that initiator, and you can't catch out this Morphling, who is basically an initiator right now, he's just going to one-shot everybody on the team. He's playing super aggressive too because he has the Aegis. I mean, there's so many problems for DC now with their lineup. But he did get the kill.
Oh, it did fucking out. It's gonna.
That was baited.
able to take him down. They can stop this line.
BKB? BKB? A BKB?
He's testing.
What did they say? Yeah.
And see, find mystery here. And back. He's gonna end. Yeah, that's pretty. Right. Oh no.
Man, this lion is just like kill stealer. Honestly, this guy, XZ, is just. It's like your kill is my kill.
He's good so far.
He has.
He got a blink dagger building towards that staff photo. It's a pretty so, and end up seeing the revolution. Just a. It's so. Ame is just a.
And in the later portions of the game, it's really difficult for Lifestealer to 1v1 against Morphling because he's going to have Scotty, he's going to have Butterfly, and there's just no way in a 1v1 situation Lifestealer is going to win, especially when he's behind 4K net worth. It needs to be the role reversal right now for DC to really stand a chance, but it's not, and that's why they're going to have a huge problem.
Oh, the skin. He's gonna kill. He's all good and. I don't want. Maybe you need to start thinking about how to just keep getting on your and then kind of game.
Morphling, yeah, he's going for a BKB, so I do agree with this item choice. There's only two things that are going to be able to penetrate through the BKB Lincolns, and that's Doom and Winter Wyvern Curse. So that's a really good plus for their side. And then they're not on a timer like we talked about in the draft. They have the better late game. All they really need to do is just split push the map with their heroes, and then they go for the Aegis because they have complete map control, and then they can go poke and prod at high ground. They should also get these tier 2 towers before they think about going high ground.
Okay. Yeah, my like sometimes you see the able to push. It's like up. Talked about it from the
yeah.
This well. What you do, push down the top lane, try to take out your tower. I don't.
No, you haven't. It's more so that CDC have been really good with their smoke ganks this game, and they've been finding DC kind of farming on their own around the map. And then all of a sudden, DC, like, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes ago, remember when they were pushing the bottom tier 2? Well, they have a smoke here. They're going to catch someone.
Is that a bit more as you drop I jumped on behind kill in full not down.
Man, that was a perfect initiation from DC too. They got the Doom on the Void and they killed him. Oh, weehaw, not like this.
Oh,
my friend. That was super greedy to D-ward right when Morphling is nearby.
It just goes to show how much damage in the set. Careful. Meanwhile, I think with that, they're probably going to be people out here. So
it's them still making the initiations for CDEC on the others map, and they don't even need to really get the towers as much as DC do at this stage. They need to be getting the towers, they need to be getting Roche, and they're not. So CDC are doing a really good job. Both teams have these huge cooldowns, so neither side can really punish one another right now. Well, Saksa, if you're gonna TP to the bottom lane and die, I mean, that's not my fault. That's not my fault. They almost just got Moo. Like, they were inches away. Like, if Lion could have linked a little bit farther, could have got the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wait for their ultis. And do they have a smoke? Like, they have to get that smoke initiation again. They made the perfect play. It was to go on the void. If they can either get the kill on the void first. No, I just think you have to go void. Like, honestly, ET and Lion are a bitch to play against. But this faces void. If he gets one chrono on 2 or 3 heroes, I think it's just game over for that team fight. Morphling got shot, though. Maybe they can't. There's a mosquito here. Oh! Oh my. What a player, XZ. Oh, I did though. Oh! One second. Oh my. Bash. No. I mean, like, these here are getting the perfect initiations that they could ever hope for in their lives. Like, an 5-second arrow on Morphling to set it up into that Ravage. Resolution is just paper in these team fights. Like, this Lifestealer is... Every time they put natural order on him, he's got 0 armor, and then all of a sudden he gets... I'm not even joking. I feel like it's 2 or 3 shot by this Morphling. They also keep on doing a really good job of disabling Resolution every time he comes out of his rage. So this Lifestealer has had basically 0 impact on this game, and that is your big core. So right now it's all on Weehaw. Yeah, they have Scotty on Morphling. They have the Aegis on him too. They have all their ultimates up. Yeah, this is when CDC can definitely poke and prod at high ground. They'll probably push this tier 2 tower top first and then go high ground top. Weehaw! Oh my! I mean, this pretty much is the Weehaw Inflame Ame show. Like, these 3 cores have been doing work at the end of every team fight. Not to say that everybody else isn't playing well, but these 3 are going to be the ones that seem to be always there at the end of the team fight, just because they're so hard to kill. Dragon Knight, Morphling, and then this Mirana is very elusive. And Weehaw's been playing so well this game. It's just when you have 2 cores basically against 1 in this situation, it's going to be hard to win this one. Oh. Did you just see what I saw? Yeah, like he. Oh. Hi back. Yeah, and they have no Ravage. They have Chrono. Oh, Weehaw dead. Oh no! Whip. That's like classic Jimmy, but this is not Jimmy. Demons, unfortunate there. I don't even blame him for making that play. That was actually a good play from Faces Void, but just a better play coming in from Weehaw. Like, in those situations when he has blink like that and he blinked first, then you leap, it's just very unfortunate. Oh, arrow. Oh, he didn't get over the hill. That could have been a very bad bottom leap. Ouch. Man, these arrows.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So far, DC are showing a lot of backbone in their play. They're bending, but they're not breaking. This Potom is basically a Morphling right now. Honest to God, like she has a better form of shotgun right now than Morphling, I feel, and she's doing her darndest to try and get in the back lines and kill off these 2 supports. So that's why these team fights are so close. At this stage, you probably want to either go Sheep or Dagon 5. So, like, the BKBs are going to start getting less and less for CDC, and you just want to keep having this kind of burst damage, and you have to play very aggressive. Oh, they just smoked themselves. So...
Dire's courier has been killed.
And he missed it, Chrono. They're just kind of staying around in this game. Unfortunately, Roche is not up, so they can't take it. And that was a really good Doom on Dragon Knight. He wasn't able to get off his BKB, and they just in a situation where Void misses Chrono, and like, okay, well, we actually don't need to Doom Void anymore. And they also were able to take down Elder Titan immediately because Weehaw. So there's a really good play from DC, and they just need to keep it up. They seem to always go into these team fights 4v5 and then 3v5 because they're dooming up the right targets. So all things considered, DC have a good chance to come back and win this one. Oh! This is like flashbacks to TI2 Morphling days, man. Shit is scary. It is super scary to play against. No. E-bladed! E-bladed! Oh, rage! Especially with Weehaw buying back there. Oh, that's so crippling. And they're even baiting. They are so baiting mid lane right now. This is such a great squad. They understand that DC potentially, yeah, that could have been very bad if Weehaw didn't do that play right there. Could still be bad if Weehaw gets caught out, but. the stomp! Oh. Poor Misery. Paying for the sends, but they know bottom buybacks on cooldown, and all they have to do is really push down mid. They shouldn't even go for Roche. In this situation, if they go for Roche, yeah, this is... Okay, I was not going to agree with the Roche at all, because they know that bottom bot back, and this is going to be a 4v5 fight, even a 3v5, because Wyvern's not there. I meant it might be over. Like, honestly, the game might be over. They're going to at least get 2 sets of racks. Like 2 lanes, 100%. They don't have Ravage. Like, they have a useless hero right now in the game. I mean, we both love their draft, and then all of a sudden they go out and start the game 7-0 out of nowhere. It's like, what the hell? This team is such a sleeper, as you said. They played absolutely amazing all game. 28-1 is the score on Morphling. It says it all for this game. Like, it's like a Morphling pub stomp game.